It is Tuesday, the 24th of June, 2025, Saint Jean Baptiste Day, and we're looking at the Five Roses flower sign. The flower is gone. It just says Farine, Five Roses now. So, yeah. There's a bit of wind that's causing some vibration, and that's one of the reasons why I'm shooting video, because when the wind dies down, hopefully a couple of frames will be usable as still images. I mean, the video itself is somewhat usable, but as you can see, it's sort of shaking all over the place. I should mention we're using a very powerful telephoto lens. It's a 600mm focal length zoom at the long end, and it's got a 3x teleconverter attached to it, so that brings it up to 1800 millimeters. But yeah, this is shakier than I was expecting. You're not supposed to use vibration reduction when the camera's on the tripod, but I'm wondering if with this vibration it might not hurt to try. So let's see if we can do that while the video's running. So I'm going to put the OS on, so it's off now. So I just switched on the OS. That is the optical stabilization. Oh, well, it's doing interesting stuff. Might be handy for the still photos. But yeah, the shakiness, it's actually, it's sort of like steadily shaking. Now, maybe it'll slowly die down. Let's see, go. Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting how it's sort of, this is actually quite interesting. So, as I said, you're not supposed to use the optical image stabilization when the camera's on the tripod, precisely because it will sort of wander around. You'd be better off just having it. But in a situation where your camera's on a tripod and there's quite a bit of vibration thanks to wind, might possibly make a bit of a difference. Although, as we can see, there's still plenty of vibration. It's very interesting how the whole image is moving around as a result of putting on the image stabilization. Now, there's two settings. One is, well, one is 1, and the other one is 2. I think the one marked 2, I think it's more for action. So I'm debating whether it might be better to try that one. So this is basically just an experiment. We're waiting for the sunrise. Don't see the sun anywhere. I don't see the moon anywhere either. I was expecting the moon to be visible, and I just don't see it. Not sure why. So yeah, let's see what we can do in terms of changing the stabilization. So we're going to move it to 2 and see what happens. Here we go. So now we're on the 2 setting. And is it any better? Not sure. Anyway, it will be interesting to see what the actual video footage looks like. I'm really not sure where the sun's coming up, but I have a feeling it's not going to come up anywhere interesting. Plus, there's some low cloud on the horizon, so that might prevent it from being seen when it's low on the horizon. It might only become visible once it's getting above the clouds. So had considered going to the old port of Montreal and try to get an alignment with the biosphere. That's the old US pavilion, geodesic dome. I've done that in the past, but for various reasons I decided not to, and to look for something here closer to home. And that's essentially what we're doing. We're just waiting to see where it actually does come up and figure out, you know, what kind of alignments we can have with that. But looking out, I have a feeling it's not going to come up near the Five Roses from my position right now. I have a feeling it'll come up to the left, and to the left there's nothing terribly interesting. It looks like some old silos or something. Anyhow, we'll play it by ear. I'm just going to swing the camera around, because this is not super interesting. Over here, there they are. Okay, there's church towers there. And then there we go. This is what I'm looking for. This pair of church towers. I have got some nice alignments of the sun coming up with these. So as we can see, at 1800 millimeters, it's too powerful in the sense that it's zeroing right in on the towers. There's hardly any give. I'd be better off zooming out a bit to 500. So let's do that. Yeah, that's 500. And we will just shift a little to the right here. Okay, but then that optical image stabilization really does some interesting stuff. Like I didn't realize just how much it could, you know, shift the image. So yeah, I'm gonna turn it off because it's there we go. So now we're back, and now we might have a higher level of vibration, but at least the image won't shift around. So that's it. These two towers do make for an interesting target from alignment, although we do have the mountain in the background, so the sun has to come up over the mountain. In the past, I think I was situated somewhere else, and I think the sun was between two towers, but I could be wrong. But I am noticing off to the left, there's, you know, the end, the mountain ends. There's a bit of lower horizon. So I might have been in a position where the alignment was with that lower horizon. Anyhow, no sign of that. Oh, I do see some light. Let's shift over this way. I see where the sun might be coming up, and it's sort of where I'm kind of expecting. There, you see the pink clouds. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off 3 times